I want to stress that despite the focus of this commission and of the many books and articles on mistakes, defeats, and failures in Afghanistan, there were many, many successes, major successes that are uncounted, rarely remembered in the U.S., and almost never described in the media. This commission will fail if you do not give sufficient attention to what went right, what was done better than expected, and on what actions and policies left lasting impacts that continue today. Ambassador LaBerry, who's on the next panel, describes one such success, civilian military coordination in eastern Afghanistan, in her written testimony. There are many other successes, such as the military-civilian mission in the Arghandab district in Afghanistan, a center of the Taliban's existence. On whether we could have succeeded, whether the Afghan people could have succeeded and not suffered defeat by the Taliban in 2021. I believe that if the Afghan people had the same level of consistent support and assistance from the U.S. as Pakistan provided to the Taliban, Afghanistan would have succeeded, and so too would the United States.
The contours of the unwinnable war were already in place, and little was done qualitatively differently to change the status quo ante. Despite the stated goal of the surge, the hugely unhelpful timelines, the U.S. actually never transitioned the ownership or execution of the war to Afghans. In the actual conduct of the war, Afghans remained onlookers or secondary players at best, from the shadowy militias run by the U.S. government to the various specialized units, or even the ANA. Afghan role in the war basically boiled down to an accessory or a hired gun. I'll come to the governance issue. Certain governance functions were transitioned almost too quickly to underprepared Afghan hands, and as a result, failed.
So let me finish my remarks by emphasizing that agency matters, whether in policymaking, the development of and implementation of strategy, leading departments and agencies, or commanding military formations. But agency alone does not determine outcomes. For a democracy, waging a limited war in a distant land, organizational interest and influence, processes, competing domestic and international interest, historical memories, politics, and popular support, all too matter greatly. And I am impressed in that regard by this Commission's very comprehensive approach, which takes all of these factors and more into consideration.
I will conclude my remarks by describing, admittedly in retrospect,